Come closer to the sound of my voice, and you'll be closer to my penis.
Woo!
Hey, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the Media Clash podcast. I am your host, Eric Knuckles. Along with me, we have Mr. Franklin Sizemore. Alongside Franklin and myself, we have Mr. John Bernardo DiCaprio.
Hi. Hi.
And last and certainly not least, we have the Agin Cajun Wayne Oldman McCarthy.
What's up, Internet?
We are four completely ridiculous, stupid people who met up on the Kind of Funny forums, and we decided, hey, we should do a podcast, and maybe that would be kind of fun. So hopefully it'll be fun for you guys. If not, the hell with y'all, because it's fun for us. So we're just going to keep on doing it. So that being said, we're just going to get right on into it. Basically, the formula of the show, if you will, is kind of multiple topics. It's going to be TV shows, it's going to be video games, it's going to be movies, and then it's going to be something kooky and weird and fucked up that one of us is going to think about. So that being said, let's go ahead and just hop right on into it. Topic number one, let's go with... I'm going to go with John, because I already know your topic right off the top of my head. So go ahead and tell everybody what your topic is, and let's get into it.
Alright, the topic for video games today is going to be backlogs. How many games is too many backlogs? How do you handle your backlog? And what's your backlog right now?
How do you handle your backlog? That's what I want to know.
That's none of your business.
So that being said, John, what do you have as your backlog right now? I know that you're not current up on current gen systems outside of I think the Wii U. So I'm sure you have a few like alternate system backlogs of current stuff. But I guess it could be the current stuff that you don't have access to yet, as well as older games that you haven't played. So what's your backlog currently? Right
now, I'm working on a lot of older games. I'm in the middle of Paper Mario. After that, I plan on going to Paper Mario for the Wii. What else have I got going on? I got a bunch of Zeldas I need to plow through. Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Minish Cap. So I got a whole Zelda thing going on.
I noticed you didn't say Spirit Tracks or shoot, what was the other one on DS?
I don't remember.
Swipe-tastic one, whatever it was.
Let's just put it this way. I have so many games logged in that I actually have an app on my phone that tells me how many games I have left. So let me keep going. We got Earthbound. I still need to start. Golden Sun. Kingdom Hearts 2.5.
Which Golden Sun? The original or Golden Sun?
Original on GBA.
Oh, okay. I haven't played that one. The one on DS I haven't finished, but that's really cool. It's an action RPG. It's a cool mix of turn-based with Zelda-ish action RPG. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I got the Plague Knight expansion on Shovel Knight to finish, as well as Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Super Metroid. So it's a lot of Nintendo. I have a few PS3s in there, but for the most part, it's all Nintendo. That's what I'm looking at.
You said the Plague Knight stuff, so obviously Shovel Knight. What are you playing that on? Are you playing that on Wii or 3DS?
Wii U. I don't even have a 3DS, so Wii U. But it's great because you can do the off-screen thing. I can play big screen, little screen, whatever I want.
Yeah. Cool. Guys, you dealing with any backlog issues right now?
Not so much issues. There's games I want that I haven't gotten yet. I still want to get Need for Speed, just because I'm a car guy.
He likes to turn left?
That's just really about it. And then Battlefront, eventually I'll get a hold of that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to pick up Battlefront when it drops down to like, $40, something like that. Maybe they'll have like a Black Friday sale or something around Christmas. What about you, Franklin?
Well, I have a lot of things, so I'm just going to go through like the big time-consuming ones that are going to grab me for a while. I want to play through the Mass Effect trilogy because I only played 3.
You know what? I'm on your side because I actually want to play through the trilogy, but I don't want to waste the time of playing through all of them. So I thought maybe I'd just get 3, do that 20-minute graphic novel, and then just finish the game.
If only there was a website that you could go to that would have like videos, almost like a tube of videos that were just for you, that could house all of these things that you could just watch in a quick small session.
No, but like if you buy Part 3, at least for some systems, there's a cinematic that makes the decisions for you, so that way it feels like you've been playing it from the beginning. Yeah, so your joke. No.
It's like, so your joke, not funny.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So some of the other games that I'm going to go back to is Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I started playing Bloodborne, but then Witcher 3 came out, which I just recently finished.
Oh, it's so good.
It was great. And
Geralt fighting my griffin up here.
Mhm.
My arch griffin, or Peter Griffin, I don't know. It's a griffin. Sorry, go ahead. I
It was a great
apologize
game.
to anybody listening to the audio-only version of this, because I'm probably way louder than everyone else.
No, I already turned you down.
Thank you. Somebody had to do it. Go ahead, Franklin.
Yes, so I have Bloodborne to get back to. I only got halfway through Metal Gear before Fallout came out. I need to go back and finish that. I have Final Fantasy Type 0, which I'm only halfway through.
Yeah, same for me.
And, shit, there's just a bunch of little indie stuff that I have laying around, and
Yeah.
I have to beat Bravely Default by the end of December so I can let my friend borrow it. I have to beat Xenoblade Chronicles 3D before the freaking game comes out, or before I get to play that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a shit ton of things to play.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff I haven't even mentioned.
Yeah, me and you are in the same boat on a lot of stuff just because of our RPG,
Love affair?
similarities and whatnot. I mean, I played all the way through Mass Effect 2, and I loved that. Mass Effect 3, I haven't gone through. I don't want to go through Mass Effect 1. I tried, and I was just like, oh, these controls are terrible. So Mass Effect 3 I'll get around to someday. My biggest ones are Final Fantasy Type 0, like you. I haven't gotten hardly into that at all. I need to finish up Xenoblade on my 3DS. I need to finish. I'm probably kind of close to halfway on Metal Gear Solid 5. I finished The Witcher 3 like a month or so ago, but I have started going back through Skyrim, which I never beat on my PS3. I was afraid of my save file getting corrupted, and so I stopped. And now that I have a really awesome PC, and I've gotten into the whole Master Race thing, I'm playing through that and enjoying the crap out of that, as well as Fallout 4. So I have hundreds of hours of stuff to get through, and that's not even including the stuff. I don't have a Wii U, but man, I want to play Xenoblade Chronicles X so bad, and we're only just a couple of weeks away from that. So
Christmas list.
yeah. I was gonna say, that's the one freaking system that John actually has that I don't have. That I'm like, I want that system. Come on, man! If it wasn't for the freaking exchange rate, or not exchange rate, the whole border thing, we need to swap out. I'll send you my PS4. You send me that Wii U, son.
It's funny though because my friend's going to Quebec next weekend. I'm taking this PS4 for the weekend, so I don't need your shit.
Oh, you son of a bitch bastard.
My question though, following all that, we all have pretty hefty backlogs. How many games? There's too many for a backlog. When is it not becoming a backlog and it's just you're hoarding your games now?
Never, man, never. I mean, realistically, obviously, there's, I think, a number that is just impractical to try and get to. But, I mean, I think that's going to vary from person to person, and depending on what all you got going on in your day to day. But ideally, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm being stupidly optimistic, but I'd like to think that I'm going to get back to stuff someday, and that's not even including the yearly things that I always want to go back and replay, like Chrono Trigger or BioShock 1, stuff like that. So, what is it for you, as far as the number that you think would just be too intimidating to go back to?
I think it gets to a certain point where I don't know if it's a number, but when you're trying to think of what to play next, and you're like, I don't even want to play anything because there's too many things to play and I don't know which one to start with. So I think it's just best to touch anything. You know what I mean? It's just.
I think that's when you hit that moment where you're like, I'm gonna start focusing on my TV shows again, and you get out of that game.
Well, yeah, I got to that. Exactly, I got to that point. So now what I try to do is I pick the one game and I just plow through it until it's done. Next game,
Plow through it, and you push in, and you don't stop until it's just moaning. It's moaning, asking, it's begging. Oh God, we're stupid.
Do you guys have any other tactics for backlogs? Do you always just focus on the main game, or do you kind of hour for this game, hour for this game, hour for this game?
See, what I usually do is that I pick up one game at a time and I just plow it, like, right up.
You just get up in there. You just gotta
get in there and just plow it so hard, and then I move on to the next one. It's kind of like how I wish my love life was, but it's not the same.
You'll get there.
Give it time. Give it time.
You're man of uniform.
I've never been the type of person who can do multiple back and forth. I would say the most I can do is like 2, kind of back to back, and it'll either have to be something they're similar in some way, but then also different enough to where I can kind of like switch modes. Like for a while, I was going back and forth on Metal Gear Solid 5 and The Witcher 3, and those are similar in that they're fairly open world, and you have a horse, and that's about it. But it's an open world gameplay that definitely they both scratch different itches. But they're both fantastic. So I mean, if I was feeling more fantasy-ish or whatever, and kind of just wanted to chill and admire, a beautiful world, I would go with Witcher 3 and start doing stuff like that. And then if I kind of as I would get kind of not tired, but as I kind of got quenched with that feeling, I might want something of like something kind of more pick up and play, which Metal Gear 5 is totally, you have that mission-based structure where you can just kind of pick up and put down. And so I was going back and forth with those.
Right on. Okay, well, I guess that kind of answered my question. It's kind of the answers I expected. All right.
Way to be predictable.
Sorry, that's probably why they didn't pick it on the Gamescast.
Eric, you mentioned horses. I'd like to bring up a quick point right now. This year has been really awful for horses. I mean, there's some really... If you looked at Bloodborne, there's some, like, horse-like creatures that are just mangled all to hell.
Yeah.
And then you go to The Witcher where you can just fucking slice a horse's head off. I mean, what the fuck? And then in Metal Gear, you're just using a horse as, like, your own weapon of war.
Yeah. And then shitting on people, which, by the way, is just Thank you, Kojima. Thank you so much. That's the greatest addition to any game.
But seriously, let's
I
stop.
remember that memo session where they were playing, and then, like, all of a sudden somebody leaned in and was like, okay, the horse is good. What if it shat on somebody?
So sorry, for those that have not played Metal Gear Solid, and I don't know why I haven't played it, I have a PS3 and it was released for PS3, but tell me more about this shitting on thing.
So you have your horse, whose name is D-Horse, and you can ride around and do shenanigans and whatnot, and one of the abilities that it has is defecate. And so, like, you bring up your little radio menu, and you'll defecate, and, like, these little bitty, brown orbs, gelatinous orbs, will just plop out of its bunhole, and so, like, you can knock out guards and stuff and throw them on the ground, and then, like, take your horse over there, and then just, like, do it. And it'll just start crapping on them, and it literally doesn't change the game at all. It does nothing. It serves no purpose, but it is hilarious.
It does serve a purpose, though. It does.
John,
yes. It's so OP that it will, like, make a car veer off the road.
Oh, goodness. John, if you keep doing that, your face is going to stick that way. But he was committed to that, man. He was holding that pose for real. Somebody please, if anybody ever watches this, please make a GIF or just a meme of that right there.
They need noise, hold on.
Oh, dear Lord.
The cat was looking at me over there. It's like, what?
I'm so glad we decided to do this podcast to broadcast to everybody just so we can make each other laugh.
All that matters.
Exactly. Oh man. But that's pretty much it. You just shit on stuff and it doesn't do anything.
Okay, I'm buying it.
That's all you had to say.
Hi. Welcome to EV Games. How can I help you? Where's the game that shits on people? The horses shit on people? I want that game.
When you said the game that shits on people, that's where they go, oh, well, the Nintendo stuff is all over here.
Hey, now.
Oh. Oh, thank you.
I was going to go a different direction. I was going to like, well, we have Dark Souls, we have Bloodborne. That'll shit on you.
I'll tell you what, man, the Swindle, an indie game, that I play Bloodborne. That is fantastically hard in all the best ways. But the Swindle, Jesus, that will make Bloodborne cry like a little girl. Oh man, that is a very difficult game. Right. Anywho's, so what about Wangeman? What do you got for your topic, sir?
So, as we have seen in the past, I'd say 2 months or so, the box office has been horrible. Very, very bad. We've had some like horror movies, and usually a lot of horror movies come out at this time of the year, and they've been tanking really bad lately. And I think has to do with our modern society almost. People go to movies now and they just can't suspend the belief of like, oh well, you know, that's just dumb. No, like just let it wash over you, you know. Because a lot of like movies we consider great from like the 60s and 70s, I mean, they wouldn't play at all today if you made them modern because of things like cell phones and GPS and, you know, no horror movie that involves a car breaking down would work because of OnStar now.
Yeah.
So I think that's why, like, people are saying movies are horrible now, but I don't think they're horrible. I think what people walk into a movie with now is like, it has to conform to everything I know of in the real world.
Yeah. And
they just don't want to accept, like, this is fiction, it's entertainment. Enjoy it.
Kind of like the people that go to a comedy club and then they get offended. It's just like you're going there for the purpose of laughing. Why the hell are you so uptight? You know, like this is supposed to be inappropriate. That's what makes it funny. But
I have a thought in between that, like where I think another problem with the movies too is that half of it's like that, people aren't getting engaged, but another half is some movies aren't just being made very well. It's either a reboot or a remake. See episode 1, or it's just like made off a book. There's no more original ideas. Hollywood has to do the equal effort of merging you to want to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not all on the audience, but I see what you're saying. Where it's just people just like don't believe it. You gotta let it go, but at the same time, Hollywood needs to make these movies that you want to watch. And not just like it's just a flagpole like Avengers or anything like that. They have to make you something that's new and original you have to see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people just don't want to go see original movies either because when original movies come out, nobody goes to see them.
Yeah.
Crimson Peak was a really good movie, and nobody went and saw this movie. Ex Machina never made it in theaters. It had limited release, but it didn't pull enough business to warrant a larger release.
Yeah.
And a lot of the movies that we think of as like these great movies from they were kind of remakes. Gone with the Wind was a book. The original Thing was not the original Thing. It was a remake of the original Thing. But a lot of movies
when you say the original Thing, are you talking about the 80s John Carpenter version?
I call that the original, and then that is a remake of...
Yeah, the black and white version, which is what I would consider the original, but I can't tell you who directed or who was in that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's an original, and then what people perceive as the original because they don't know of the original.
Yeah.
Well, Hollywood's been not ripping off, but using other...
recycling.
...properties
to
make movies forever, and it's... I really do think a lot of it is, why kind of, the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot didn't really click. It's like
that was uncalled for.
Freddy way too creepy.
Yeah.
We had to completely 100% show you, yes, he was a child molester, not just a child killer. Because in the 80s when just killing a kid was bad enough.
Yeah.
So he had to play with them first and then kill them.
Yeah. Not necessarily in that order. I think it would be just as creepy the other way around.
It's that Nolan thing, and I am
exactly what I was gonna say,
I can't stand Nolan's Batman movies because they are too gritty and grounded.
Too far, my friend. Too far.
Yeah, brother.
I mean, I can having complaints or issues with them, but I mean they're good. Those are great movies. Because I mean, for one, I want it to be some type of a mixture. I mean, I want, if they're going to do another Friday on 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, then it needs to be creepy. It needs to be darker, because that's just, I mean, people grew up watching that other stuff. If you can't rehash that, it's super campy now. It's laughable. I mean, hell, when the 1989 Tim Burton Batman came out, that was incredibly dark, considering, it's going up, as far as TV and film-wise, it's going up against, Adam West. I mean, obviously the comics were much darker at that point, but film hadn't gotten there. And even to where, by now, those standards of, you look at, the 1989 Batman, and it's campy and laughable again. So, I mean, it's not necessarily that it's darker for the sake of being darker. I mean, I think it's just more, not mature, but I mean, just more
relatable.
Closer to the dark and the mature that we see as dark and mature. I mean, 10, 15, 20 years from now, The Dark Knight or Batman Begins is not going to be as serious. It's not going to seem that way anyway. I don't know, when you were saying the whole thing of the whole having an issue of suspending disbelief, my first gut reaction is to go to like special effects of like, oh, I can't, this isn't pulling me in, I can tell this is fake. But obviously, I kind of like with what John was saying. To me, it's story. I mean, there's a lot of movie-going audience, generic public, that are just over-analytical assholes, or just not analytical enough, and they're just assholes. And so they're just like, oh, that's stupid. Why would she do that? She should do. It's like, because it's a freaking movie. That's why, and it's meant to be entertaining. Now shut up and enjoy it. But that being said, you gotta write it compelling. You have to give me a reason to get, make these characters interesting. Make me get involved in this story, and then I'm not going to have a problem with suspending disbelief. So, special effects is one thing, and rehashing the same old thing is another. Same old thing, or the same thing with like changing something just for the sake of changing it. But I think story is where it all comes down to. Make me care.
And I agree, like, story is the most important bit, but I think we're giving the general movie-going public a little too much credit.
Yeah, maybe a little too much. I'm partial blame.
Just a little much in the credit department. I mean, because, Hollywood turns and burns movies now to get, teenagers in to a horror movie that in the 70s and 80s and even into the 90s would have been R-rated. Well, let's step it back, let's camp it up, let's cheese it up a bit so it'll get a PG-13 and we can get all these teenagers in and we can make money off of it. Whereas, back in the day, it was like...
Was the original Nightmare on Elm Street PG-13 or was it R?
No, all those old movies were rated.
What was that?
All those old movies were rated R, and as opposed to now, like, you get... Like, As much as I have said in the past that the Saws you have to look at as a long story, they were what they were because, if I'm not mistaken, they were all R-rated. Now, then you look at Paranormal Activity, and they're PG-13, and it's a lot of, like, camera tricks, and, oh, look, we don't show anything actually happen, until this last one when they tried to show everything, and it was just
abysmal.
Horrible.
I didn't even bother with the last one because, that's a problem I think they had with Saw that they did with Paranormal Activity, where you had a good idea, maybe do an extra one, maybe a third, but stop. Like, you start to overdo it, and you're losing its flair. Like, if they left it at the first one, people would always be thinking about it and not know anything more, and it would just be rattling in their head, and that would be same thing with Saw. They could have just left it where he closed the door, and that was it. Spoiler alert. And then you just leave it at that, leave it to people's imagination. You know what I mean? That's the problem, too, is where if they're just going to keep sequeling, you're going to take all the horror and everything out of it.
It's the age-old adage of less is more. I mean, part of what made, in my opinion, because I'm not an idiot like Wayne, part of what made the Joker so great, Heath Ledger's Joker so great in The Dark Knight, is because of the fact that he has less screen time than anybody else in the movie.
Well, don't get me wrong. I love Heath Ledger's Joker. I was not one of the ones screaming about him even being casted. Yeah. I'm just not a fan. Like, I can deal with the first two. It's Dark Knight Rises. But my video review is like
Sorry, Franklin, did you say it's the best one?
No,
I love that one, man.
The fire rises, brother.
It's funny though. I think that part 2 and 3 are the best, but for some reason when I bought part 3, I watched it more than I've watched Dark Knight. But I love them both equally, but I've watched the other one more. And I understand that the third one's completely far-fetched, more plot holes than anything, but I don't know.
Perhaps he's wondering why you throw a man out of a plane.
Oh shit, no, I messed it up. Why you would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane? I butchered that.
It's over. It's over. The door's behind you.
Oh, man. End scene. But in my opinion, the reason why that's so effective is because he has so little screen time. And the same thing with, like, the first Saw, I loved. I thought it was great. The second one, I was, like, already like, eh. If they had just made just the one, and then just waited, and then released the exact same movie of 2, but, like, further away, I think it would have been way more successful. But, I mean, they hit a great franchise, and they just milk it like crazy. And then you're just like, they force, it's going to be what ends up happening with Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty.
Oh, it already happened. It already happened.
Throat until you're so sick of it,
I think it's already happened. I used to be an Assassin's Creed fan. I had every single game. I got every iteration. And then I think around 4,
yeah,
I just stopped. I'm just like, what am I doing? I'm doing the same thing. They're not fixing the game. This is just like a hockey game every year. Yes, I'm Canadian. I said hockey.
What's hockey?
That face was priceless.
I'm sorry, you're making up words now. I don't. I thought y'all spoke English up there.
What is this?
Don't be a hoser.
You have something in your throat? I didn't know you were Jewish.
No, you all watch it. You know it.
I'm sorry, I really don't.
Go Islanders!
It never gets cold enough here to even entertain hockey.
I was gonna say I don't watch baseball, man, and that's America's pastime.
Also, it's football. I don't really watch hockey, but I like to play any video games related to it.
Wait. When you say you watch football, do you mean real football, or do you mean that arena crap that you guys have?
Arena crap?
Or whatever.
No,
Not arena. Canadian Football League, where pros go to die.
I don't actually watch a lot of sports anymore. I like to play video game versions of them. I just don't have the time to dedicate 2.5 to 3 hours where I can just be watching a story-based TV show.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm the same way. I haven't cared about sports since I realized that I didn't have to for my dad and my brother to actually have conversations with me.
Wait, you can be a man and not watch sports?
Say what?
You can be a man and not watch sports.
This is true. In fact, you can be a man and watch My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic.
No.
Yes,
We
you
draw
do.
lines.
Hey, get out of here. I wake up every Saturday morning to watch Arsenal play, so fuck you guys.
Oh no. I'm Portuguese. I like soccer. Don't worry about that. But I don't watch English league because I have no interest in it. But I got nothing against it.
Okay, that's enough of that sports crap. That's not what this podcast is about. Jeez, guys. So yeah, going forward, Senor Franklin, what is your topic, sir?
My topic
is all day.
about sex on TV. And this topic comes up because of the recent release of the Jessica Jones series on Netflix,
Which is awesome. And
where this isn't. I hope this isn't going to be too much of a spoiler for you. She fucks, and she fucks
A lot.
quite a bit, and yeah, it isn't necessarily all that. It wasn't necessarily the most graphic sex scene I've seen on TV by far, but it was quite intense.
Well, you see two superhumans or super beings. Sorry, it's not really spoiling anything, but you see two people of strength going at it, and I think they did show their strength in the bedroom.
Yes, it was really weird, but I was just wondering, like, where do you think sex on TV has gone maybe too far, or do you think there needs to be more sex on TV? Do we need to be seeing dicks and boobs and fucking vaginas? Do we need to be seeing that shit on TV?
vaginas.
I mean, Game of Thrones covers all. The Game of Thrones does that. Like, I mean, they don't have a lot of sex. They put a lot of nudity, but not a lot of sex. I feel like sex scenes are kind of unneeded. Like with the Jessica Jones, if they just, when they do the whole thing where you kind of see them look at each other and then they just fall into bed, and you see that aftermath. That's enough. You don't need.
I feel like Jessica Jones was actually way more tame and more artfully done, because I mean it's definitely physical, you know. I think, but they don't. The thing is, they don't show a whole lot. They show like her bare back, and you can tell.
Well, they can't show anything though, right?
I mean, you can definitely see like their hips are on top of each other. There's some bumping and grinding ferociously, and it does a really good job of showing it being very visceral and realistic, but without showing any real nudity. Whereas, Game of Thrones, or especially if anybody has seen on Starz, the Spartacus shows, I mean, that was just straight up like great story, and then it's like all of a sudden, okay, well here's a 2 or 3 minute porn scene. It would just get really awkward. But
even with Jessica Jones, like it doesn't have even anything to do with the nudity. It's like because it goes on for a little bit longer, and it's like, what is this scene proving? You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. Like you could just show them, maybe show like a quick 5-10 seconds, like show that there's that aggressiveness, and then just show them fall in the bed, because that's either you can shorten the episode so I can get on to the next episode, or you can put something else there.
Yeah, I mean, as a fan of TV shows, I hate it when they do, not even just like with sex scenes or whatever. I will be like, you're gypping me. This is filler. Nothing is progressing the story. Damn it. So yeah, I agree. I feel like so many shows nowadays have gotten to the point where they feel like they just have to shove it in there. Shove
no pun intended.
On up in it. No pun intended. Damn it. On purpose.
Are you kidding? Yeah.
They throw it in there because, I mean, especially if you have good writing and you have good action and all this stuff, it's almost like, all right, let's throw this in there because, it's gonna, sex always sells, and then B, even if it doesn't, it's gonna be controversial to where it's gonna get, people talk about it and all this other crap, and I don't know.
God damn it, they got us.
I get frustrated with it. I mean, I don't mind if it's story related and it progresses, and or if it's artfully done. I'm not against nudity at all. I don't care about that. But it's like, for instance, Netflix original Marco Polo. Get your finger out of my face, son. Marco Polo, I really enjoyed, and it's got tons of Asian boobies all up in there, which is okay by me. In fact, my wife was like, "Oh, there's Asian boobs in this. You should watch it." And I was like, "Okay, that's why I love you."
Actually, you know who did sex scenes good in Netflix area? Did you guys watch Narcos?
Yes.
No.
So when you saw the whole thing, so in like the 10-episode run, it was a prominent thing, the 80s, cocaine, all that stuff. There was sex, but it wasn't like it was the way I think it should be. Where it's like 10 seconds, you see the and then that's it.
Wait, what? What do you mean? I don't know what.
This with the bouncing. The bouncing. Where you got these. Like,
when you're doing this, pull it up into the frame, because I can't see what you're doing down there with your hands.
That right there.
Because me and Franklin were thinking something completely different.
Either way.
It all comes down to the point, like, the biggest, it's not needed. I don't think that actually showing the scenes in Jessica Jones adds much other than, like, okay, when you find out why she's obsessed with Luke, it kind of, like...
Luke Cage, spoilers.
Yeah, it kind of makes her, like, worse of a person.
The big black guy.
But you didn't need to show it you didn't need to show as much of it to get to that same conclusion.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I remember you were talking about it on a messenger thing we were doing the other day. What was it your wife said?
Yes. Oh yeah. The your first female-led superhero property, and you have her like having sex in the second episode. Like,
bravo.
Well done.
It'd have been like if we'd have had Agent Carter, like, boning somebody just...
Why does it just have to be the chicks? Why can't the guys just fuck? Why can't everyone just fuck? We know everyone likes to fuck. Everyone likes to fuck. It's a fact. We know.
We get it.
Like, if you're trying to sell your property on story and merit, you don't need that filler. And that's really what it is.
Think about it. If we're talking about something that's trying to be more grounded in reality, is there anything that's really going to ground something more in reality than sexual appetite? Because, I mean, we all frown upon it all the time, but it's like I mean, Franklin was saying, partially in comedic effect, but I mean, it's true. Everybody likes to fuck.
I mean, you can make reference to it. You could even show it I just think that within that first half of the season, because I've only up to like 6 or 7.
Yeah, same
like,
here.
It was way too prominent. Just like with like her friend, like it jumped from,
that definitely threw me for a loop. That threw me. I was like, really? Well, that was quick.
Yeah, exactly. That was like the
Easy on the spoilers. I know what you're talking about, but maybe
that's
the one
what I'm saying.
person
So,
watching.
like when you see the other, like it's. I think it kind of detracts. I don't know that, like, if we'd have had Matt Murdock, plowing women in Daredevil, it would have lost, like, and he's, like, in the comics, he is a notorious ladies' man. He gets women. He's got tons of exes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we didn't throw that into Daredevil. We only made one reference to one ex-girlfriend in the entire series.
Hey, calm it down. I'm only like 4 episodes in on Daredevil.
So,
Well, you should know that for every ex-girlfriend, there's a bagel in between.
but so I mean, I think it detracts. It's like my biggest problem with Watchmen was the sex scene in Watchmen that in the comic is like a page, and then we have it in the movie for like almost 10 minutes.
Yeah.
In the extended cut, it's like
I was
30
the
minutes.
same way. And I was so looking forward to that movie, and I was sitting there watching it like, God, this is really not what I was expecting.
And it was so long and so sensual. Like, it was just so slow.
And not in the good way, though. It was really weird.
No.
Because it was just completely out of place. All the blue dong was a better placement in that movie than that one scene was.
I've erased the blue dong from my
And
memory.
that right there, that's our headline to lead with this episode. All the blue dong.
But I do think it can be used, like in Game of Thrones, I think it's used too much in that too, because it's not as prominent in the books.
Yeah.
But it's like HBO needs something to like justify it being on pay cable, and the only way you can really do that is let's add in genitals.
Genitals. We're so old. Dong and genitals.
Yeah, I feel a little out of place here.
Yes. Franklin over here.
I'm leaving.
Okay. with his dicks, boobs, and ginas. Which, by the way, when you said that, it made me think of like some really awkward thrift shop corner store of just like, hey, I'm gonna sit on down to the old dick, boobs, and gina. You want anything to eat? I was gonna pick up some hoagies. Yeah. Go on down to the dicks, boobs, and ginas. You want anything? Okay. You don't want anything? Okay. Dicks, boobs, and ginas. One more time. Oh dear. Oh
But
man.
I mean, I think it has its place, and then there
It
is
does. The dick actually goes in the vagina. That's how it's made.
then there's cheapingly using it to garner whatever extra. Because I mean, really, who's gonna watch Jessica Jones for those sex scenes? Who is gonna like? Who wasn't sold on watching it?
You would be
But
surprised.
when that happens,
That's true.
Well,
I mean,
that's
anybody
Marvel
who's
property.
watching this place is either a big Marvel fan or, like in my case, I had no idea who Jessica Jones was. I didn't know anything about the comics. And then as soon as I found out David Tennant was in it and he was the bad guy, I was like, okay, done.
But, like, even just being a Marvel property, you don't expect any sex at all.
see, but the book had it in it, and like it's still. I don't think trying to remember back, the book didn't broach it in such a graphic way.
Yeah.
I don't know that you like the Purple Man, of course. Like they made him the sexual deviant and all around bad person that he should be. But other than I think they had like an allusion to her rubbing one out to Johnny Storm and like her backstory. Like that was I think the most like in the fact that but I mean it followed it. She used to hook up with Luke Cage, and that's how they ended up eventually being together. So it was there, but I still don't remember it being as graphically visualized.
Yeah.
You see, I don't have a problem with it being graphic. I mean, fuck, make it a full-on like porno for like 5 to 10 seconds. Who gives a shit? As long as it doesn't like fucking drag on. I don't give a fuck how graphic it is, as long as it doesn't drag on and it doesn't feel awkward how long it's taking.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, you don't ever want it to go too quick because that can be just as awkward. Trust me. I mean,
But I've seen it. You've seen it in movies, though.
I read about it on an article that I clicked on Huffington Post. They talked they talked about it.
No, but like you've seen scenes where you see them start going at it, and then they go down to the bed off camera, and it's done.
Yeah.
So you imply, but
Dead
horse has been
patience anymore. They have to have it spoon fed to them. They have to have They can't just go, oh, by the way, they had sex, wink, wink. They have to pull a Nintendo on a Zelda game and give you an hour-and-a-half long tutorial of how to play the game, as opposed to just letting you fucking play the game. Figure it out. There's buttons.
You leave Zelda out of this. That'll be that.
You know what my favorite thing about Zelda is? Her really cool hat. I think Zelda's so cool with that green hat and that sword.
You're talking about Linkle now.
Oh, that's a stupid-ass name.
It is, I know.
What, Zelda or Link?
Linkle.
No, they have a female Link now. Linkle.
Linkle?
I don't know what Franklin. What game?
Like Linky or Linkette or?
Oh, she's gonna be a downloadable character in Hyrule Warriors. So Linkle has joined the battle.
Linkle.
Yeah, they really got creative with that one. I heard it on the IGN Nintendo podcast where they're like, Link and the way that he looks. If you look back to the original Zelda, you put your name as whatever you want. So you can be Link, you can be Barbara, you can be Jimmy, you can be anything because you can't tell, right? It just looks like a blonde-haired person. So
actually, in Link to the Past, he's got pink hair.
See, I never played Link to the Past, which is crazy because I'm a Zelda fan, but I will play it soon. It's on the log.
That's the only Zelda game I've ever played.
Sheesh.
Listen on to me. Shut up. Shut up.
Let me ask you this. Have you played Hyrule Warriors?
Yeah, I just beat it actually the other day.
Blasphemy. Son of a bitch.
It's not blasphemy.
Got that Dynasty Zelda. Have you played the best Zelda ever made? No, I haven't gotten around to that yet, but I'll do it someday.
I've never played Link to the Past because the cartridge is too expensive, and I don't want to play it on ROM. I want to play it with a controller. So that's why. But my friend has it, so I'm going to take it.
Personal problems. You whiny little man.
No, I got Hyrule Warriors because it looked like fun. And
you can download it on the virtual console on Wii U, can't you?
No, but my friend has a box version. I'm going to play the original. I want to play the original. I've been playing all the Zelda games original, so I want to do it like that. I'm weird like that.
Okay, no, I get you.
Honestly, like I know Dynasty Warriors has a bad rep, but if you like hack and slash, just the Zelda skin, like it does feel like a Zelda game.
Yeah,
it doesn't not feel like a Zelda game, and it's not that you just put skins on it. Like the environments are there, all the characters are there, the rupees, like every little thing about Zelda's in there. So there's lots of care put into this.
I know you said rupees, but I heard roofies for a second. I'm like, that's a very different Zelda game. It's a very different.
Which one's that one? Just don't knock Hyrule Warriors until you play it.
No, I played the demo, and actually I really did like it. It's just one of those things of, if I had a Wii U, I would be playing the hell out of it. And Wind Waker, because I've never played Wind Waker. So
Wind Waker HD was the first game I got because I got the limited edition one with the hieroglyphics around, and that game in HD.
Did you just say hieroglyphics or Hyrule glyphics?
Let's just, for the sake of jokes, I said Hyrule. Let's just say I said Hyrule, just for comedy's sakes.
You're punny. You're punny.
Well, you got it. I actually said Hyrule.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Next
I'm
episode,
sorry.
no Franklin.
I apologize, viewers. All three of you.
Next episode, no. You'll see on the next episode, be like, Eric is no longer with us.
I killed him when we were doing a Let's Play, and he did something really stupid.
He's been voted off the island.
It's coming. It's coming. No doubt. Okay, so that being said, we are going to move on to our final topic. Question?
Oh, there's a final?
Oh shit, yeah. Wait. What?
Eric's calling an audible.
There's a wild card.
That is our. Let's not make that a normal thing, because that music was really disturbing, John. Don't do that again. Once was too many. It was like, it sounded like you were trying to do the Roper Report theme, but then you had a stroke halfway through, and all of a sudden became like a recorded R2-D2. Like,
So someone here is holding on to the wild card. Who is doing that?
Indeed. That is going to be me, in fact.
My wife just texted me asking what the hell that sound was.
Say what?
My wife just texted me asking me what the hell that sound was.
Oh, me or you?
Me.
Yeah, tell her we're all wondering exactly the same thing.
Oh boy. So, are you holding the card, Eric?
I am.
Do you have the card on you?
No, it's not really a card. I don't have anything to hold up.
Oh, bullshit.
I'll hold
call
the card and
shenanigans.
leave, son. It's a soccer reference. Oh. But yeah, no, so my topic is basically... it's video game related. So,
It better be.
Oh, man. Stop with the faces. You're messing me up. Oh, gosh. You're a very special lad. I'm about to minimize you guys. I'm sitting here. This is why I should have wrote it down, because now I'm drawing a blank as to what the freaking topic was. Thanks a lot, you jerks.
You should have put it in the spreadsheet.
I should have, but it wouldn't have been a wild card if you know it's coming.
Draw the card already.
We're gonna have to edit all this out. I'm just gonna let you know.
Nope.
We're just gonna cut it.
No.
Your listeners are like, what the hell is going on?
Shh. Cut. Like a ninja.
Audio
There's one guy sitting alone somewhere going, this. One guy sitting in an internet cafe just wondering what he's watching.
I just wonder what happens if somebody was like, let me try this out, and then they just buffed really quickly. They just scrubbed up to this part, and they're like, what the hell are these guys talking about? Like, just like if he's like going through just for highlights, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, let me stop here. Dicks, boobs, and vagina. Let me stop here. Everybody fucks. Let me stop here. Big blue dong. What the hell is going on?
Eric, give me your damn topic.
This.
Rightio.
Topic or die.
Die. Right. So, games, right? Basically, what I'm wondering is, you got your games with, your Call of Duties. You got your games with your Assassin's Creeds. You got your games with, hell, even Super Mario. And I'm just wondering, at what point does a beloved franchise turn into a yearly or bi-yearly bastardization money grab? At what point do you have a dearly beloved IP and that just somehow turns into like a cash grab?
Well, any game that's been making money over the last couple of years, Call of Duty is a perfect example. I used to play it all the time on the PC, not Master Race. Just that's what it was on. It was on the PC. It was a great game, and then the second it came to consoles, that was that. You know what I mean? It's just because the PC game had
popular.
Yeah, exactly.
Back before it was cool.
Guitar Hero, same thing. Oh shit, people are buying this. Let's put out one every year. Assassin's Creed, another good example. What else are they doing right now? Like Battlefield. Battlefield's a great example of how to do it because, I know it doesn't have the strongest. I know it has a big community, but not as strong as Call of Duty. But they put them out like every 2 years. Put an expansion between. Like they spread that shit out. Whereas like Call of Duty's just like.
How do you qualify, rather? What is the right way to do it, and what's the wrong way to do it? Because you in your example, you just said that Battlefield's the way to do it, but they don't sell as well, and so you have this other audience that is just gobbling this up. And
well, that's the problem. Yeah, if people are going to keep buying. Yeah, if they're going to keep buying it, like the companies are going to keep selling it until they see that they're selling nothing.
Yeah, until they're not making money off it. But that's the thing. Most people would openly admit that Call of Duty, that annualization, same thing with Madden or that made-up hockey thing that you were talking about earlier. All these yearly things that it's impossible. It is literally impossible to innovate enough to truly, in my opinion, justify $55 or in your case,
$79,
$5, whatever the hell that you use your Monopoly money up there for. There's no way you can really, to me, justify a $65 purchase every year when there's such minute innovations. Call of Duty may be different because of the fact that they're alternating development cycles, so really they're spending 2 years. But even still, that's a hard turnaround. And you still have examples of like the Assassin's Creed stuff where one franchise is, or one development team is obviously much more gifted than the other, because it seems like every other one suffers. You know, you had Assassin's Creed 3, not good. Black Flag was much, much better, and then you went to Assassin's Creed 4, Assassin's Creed Unity, whatever the hell that was, and that, like, in everybody else's opinion, went down. Or no, there's another one that I'm missing.
The one that was still on last gen consoles was still,
or whatever.
Yeah, it was like the engine from Black Flag, and it was.
And so like everybody was like, oh, that got even better, Assassin's Creed Rogue, and then it went down with Unity, and now it's back up with Syndicate. And so, I mean, you know, kind of like what John was saying, I do think there needs to be a more of a stretch, more of a rarity, especially if you have one team that's more talented, essentially. Take that other team, combine them, give them 4 years. Give a bigger team 4 years to work on it, bring it back, and have good mechanics. And it's not that Assassin's Creed is broken, but there's not been enough beneficial change in the last 3 to 4 years because there's such minute incremental improvements that it just seems like they're never really improving anything, you know?
You're absolutely right, Eric, about Assassin's Creed. There hasn't really been much changed. It's always sucked. Assassin's Creed is always controlled terribly. They've never improved that.
2 was a huge improvement over 1.
Yes, and it wasn't an improvement, but it still sucks. It sucks compared to the other games around that time that were in third person doing similar things. It's just, it was awful. And I don't care, like, if you want to defend it, go ahead, die on that hill. But Assassin's Creed has never been that great.
Hold on. Here's the thing I'm wondering. Everybody gives Bethesda a pass on shitty shooting mechanics for the longest time. Up until
That's because Bethesda isn't known as making shooters.
Shooting mechanics sucked. They sucked hairy balls, okay? And not the good kind.
If you're trying to play those games like a shooter, you're playing those games wrong.
But I'm just saying, don't make it look like it's supposed to have that type of mechanic, and then go, oh, but you're supposed to use this VATS thing, then don't give me a freaking iron sight to aim down. All I'm saying is, if you're going to give Bethesda a pass of like, oh, well, I mean, it's such a grand open world, well, fucking Assassin's Creed is a big-ass open world when you compare it to Uncharted. No, it's not going to control like Uncharted. Tomb Raider, a little bit more open-ended, but even still, they hide their loading screens. It's much more compartmentalized. Assassin's Creed is a big open-world game. Now, I'm not saying that it's my favorite game. It's not. But I'm just saying, it frustrates me that people will give Bethesda a pass. But that being said, I'm way more willing to give them a pass because they spend freaking 4 to 5 years developing these games, and they're not just churning these things out like every single year with like shitty controls. So I mean, I'm there. I'm with you. They do not control like they should. I would love it if Ubisoft would just be like, damn it, stop it, Ubisoft, stop it. Put it down.
They almost did for a little bit, like when it came out, like
3-4 year break.
Well, like one thing I want to defend Assassin's Creed for a little bit. One thing they did do is in the first one, what other game was doing that wall jumping parkour type stuff besides Prince of Persia, which was also Ubisoft? Nobody else was doing where you could literally grab on every single piece of the wall. Before it was, you couldn't, like, if it's popping out, you could grab it. Yeah. Or you see that everywhere now.
They're really, they're the first ones that really, the whole free running aspect and, that really got that right. First person wise, Mirror's Edge kind of got it a little, but I mean, it didn't work really well. That was after?
That Mirror's Edge was way after.
Okay. But even still, to go back with what Franklin was saying, that's true, and that's awesome. That was definitely innovative at the time. But, I mean, let's be realistic. How much has that really evolved from then to now?
No, it hasn't at all.
I have another problem with Assassin's Creed. All right, I'm just gonna go.
You're gonna rip Ubisoft a new one, man. Go on.
All right. So you're an assassin. Why the hell do you want to look different than everyone else? What the fuck?
White, wearing all white.
No, but you put the hood up and you disappear. That's how it works.
Oh like yeah, Arrow. Yeah. That's fucking great, Ubisoft. That makes a whole bunch of sense. That really immerses me and makes me believe this fucking game. Yeah. All right.
And Franklin has now become one of those movie-watching assholes that are like, I can't suspend disbelief.
Well, I mean, that's why we can't have a modern set Assassin's Creed, because everybody knows if you pull up your hoodie, you're up to no good.
Watch Dogs?
Yeah,
you're right. We can't have a modern-day Assassin's Creed, because that game sucked.
They did. So much promise, though.
God, I wanted to love that game so much, and I just couldn't. Man.
Yeah, I never finished it.
Yeah.
Guys, let's wait to see what they do with the Assassin's Creed movie.
Hey, I like me some Michael Fassbender. All right, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, they try to play it off as being real. If they were to, like, not try to play it off as being real, make it goofy and shit or whatever.
Which is kind of what they did with Black Flag, which is why I like that one a lot more.
The only reason I like Black Flag is because of the parts where you weren't playing as a fucking assassin.
The pirate ship?
That's true. That's what made it so much fun. Is we're just like, all right, now go be a pirate.
You know, you're doing something wrong with your franchise if the draw of one of the games in that franchise is the fact that it's not anything like the franchise.
Well said.
Even his assassin stuff wasn't like the other games, because I played 3 and 3 lost me, and I like American history.
Oh my God, 3.
And then when 4 came out, I played 4 from front to back, and it was amazing. It's you got to be. It's not a cash grab if the story is good enough for you to go, you know what, I don't mind paying $60.
Yeah. They had something going for a little bit. When 1 came out, 1 was rough. They fixed it with 2. They had something going. They're like, oh, let's make 2 more, Brotherhood and Revelations. Let's do that. All right. And then they came out with 3. It's like, all right, you guys are really starting to piss me off right now.
Yeah. 4 brought me back a little bit. I didn't play Rogue. Unity, I liked it when I was playing it, and then something pulled me away, and it was not compelling enough for me to go back. And then I haven't done anything with Syndicate because I don't really care, which is sad because like I don't give a crap about American history, but like I love industrial London. Like I mean, I love that section of Western civilization, especially during that time, and that was not enough to pull me in at all. I mean, I'll pick it up when it goes on sale for like $30 or something, and maybe it'll be awesome. I really like the fact that you had the option to play as a female protagonist in that one, but there are specific story missions where you can't. And I think it's you can play through the entire game as the guy, but you can't play through the entire thing as the girl, and that annoys me because I tend to prefer female protagonists. Not necessarily sure why. I don't know. I guess it's the only like heterosexual way a guy gets to play dress up. Maybe that's it. But I don't know. I'm loving the shit out of the Rise of the Tomb Raider though. I know that for sure. It's a fantastic game.
Right on.
But yeah. Anything else you guys have for whatever the hell my topic was? I don't even remember now.
Oh yeah, you were talking about video games being milked.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up because I mean, we'll bash Assassin's Creed and all this other stuff. And that being said, let me preface this with yes, Mario has near perfect gameplay in the vast majority of the games. But I mean, it's like, I guess, is that an example of how to do it right? Of Nintendo going like 1 billion Mario games, but really making them different? Of Super Mario Strikers, which is a freaking soccer game, and you have Super Mario 64, which is the first 3D polygonal game. Then you have your side scrollers. Then you have your puzzle, Dr. Mario. And
I think that's just an example of milking your IP properly.
Yeah, and I think with Mario too, that is from a different time, right? So Mario was an icon, whereas the assassins from Assassin's Creed aren't icons; they're just men in hoods, right? Like just Call of Duty doesn't have icons. Mario has the icon, and they decided
Call of Duty has icons. It's the dude like walking away in the still frame, like the.
But like Mario is in everything, but they've used him in different. They're just like everybody loves Mario, so we're gonna put him in every sports game. We're gonna make
Mario's the only surviving mascot. Like nobody gives a crap about Sonic. People would recognize him, but Mario's the only mascot / face / platformer, whatever. That's the only thing that is just really. I mean, and Nintendo has other stuff like that of like not as large, but Metroid and Link, and Star Fox. All of those have that kind of iconic visibility and all that stuff. But Mario's obviously that's just a completely different level. What bothers me with that though is they do a great job of not renewing, but using that IP to create new stuff and bring you in. But I hate the fact of like, but freaking still make the classic ones that we want. Like I'm fine with like that whatever the hell, I don't even remember the name, that atrocity that they stamped Metroid's name on, that really awkward looking shooter. Whatever. I mean, and I'm fine. Like it might be a really fun game, but like I don't have a problem with you putting Metroid's name on that if you freaking make a classic Metroid game. People are dying for a side-scrolling, open exploration, backtracking fucking Metroidvania type game. The genre that you helped create. People want that, and it's like they're just like, oh, do they want that? It's like the whole Square Enix being blown away of, well, I can't believe Bravely Default did this well. Oh, you mean the game that people have been begging you for? Who knew?
Well, and don't forget, next year is the 30th anniversary of Metroid, so...
If they don't do something for E3, it's not going to be this. It's going to be this, Nintendo.
No, it's going to be...
gosh.
X going to give it to you. X going to give it to you.
You know that for damn sure. X is going to give it to you. Yeah, I just... Speaking of which, I cannot wait for freaking... oh my god, what the hell's the name of that game? Axiom Verge. I can't not wait for that on my Vita. Played the hell out of it on PS4. I want to play it on my Vita. There you go. Oh, damn, you got the blue one?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, it's sexy as hell. I want it in my mouth.
I'll
Hold up
put
the
it in your
screen.
mouth.
Oh,
That is nice. That's nice.
that's awesome. That's cool.
Very pretty system. I'm satisfied.
When I see you this weekend, I'm going to touch your Vita.
And then you'll play with the system.
Yeah, and then I'm going to play with them joysticks, and then I'm gonna play on your Vita as well. Yeah, just a quick little thing. I don't know when we're gonna put it up, but I don't know when we're gonna get it up. But Franklin and I are planning on doing a Let's Play of some pretty cool shit this weekend-ish. So hopefully we'll have that up sometime next week. Hell, I don't even know when we're gonna have this thing up. So either way, look for that. Franklin and Eric Let's Play. So that's gonna be fun.
That's what the channel should be called. Franklin and Eric. Let's play.
Knuckles versus Sizemore.
That works.
Yeah, exactly. Hold that face. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Just wanted to put that one in the spank bank. By the way, what are we gonna be playing? I know that we're definitely gonna be doing Rocket League.
And Lara Croft.
Definitely doing some Temple of Osiris. Possibly some Helldivers.
Helldivers. I have Magicka 2 we could play.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of stuff, and I'm probably going to go shopping before you go. I'm not sure if Wasteland 2 is co-op or not.
The hell is Wasteland 2?
It's kind of like Fallout 2.
Oh, you mean before it got cool?
It's one of those top downs like Diablo.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice.
But if all else fails, I have Divinity Original Sin, which is similar.
Cools. Sounds good to me. Also, I'm not even thinking about it. If we're doing PC stuff, I have Pillars of Eternity.
Ooh.
So, which I have tried to play by myself, and it's really freaking hard. It's really hard. And I'm not that smart. Spoilers.
Ooh.
Shocker. I know.
Are you in the Brawlhalla beta?
What the hell is...
I have that.
Oh, no. Oh, gosh.
Oh,
I'm trying to
man.
think.
I can get
downloaded
your
it for
code.
that, and I've lost it. I think I got it in Loot Crate one month.
I think you can just go into Steam and get it now.
Sweet.
Oh.
Sweet.
All I know is that the guy follows me on Twitter now.
There's another one for
Because you're such a big deal.
There's another one for PC on Steam you guys gotta get called Broforce.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, God, there's another one that's I think that's co-op. Super Time Force Ultra. That's co-op, right?
It might be. It might be. I have that on my Vita, and it's also playable on PlayStation. But instead of talking about this, let's try to wrap this up here real quick. I doubt anyone's really interested in us talking about doing things.
You can shut your face.
Franklin, you mentioned
Comments down below where everybody's like, I want to hear more about what you guys are doing. Not even what you're gonna do, just what you're planning on maybe doing one day. All right, well, that's it, guys.
Yeah.
That's it. This has been episode, what episode are we on? 2? 3?
2. Dose.
2. This has been episode 2, the deuce. We're dropping the deuce on you right now. This is episode 2 of Media Clash Podcast. We hope that you guys liked it. If not, leave really angry comments, because that's how the internet works, and we can take it. Put it in your mouth. There you go. Oh, man, you had the black one? I got the white one. Silver one? Whatever it is. It's a mic. We have microphones. Look at our blue balls. See? They're balls, and they say blue on them. So they're blue. But, right. Well, that has been the Media Clash Podcast. I am Eric Knuckles. You can follow me on the Twitters at Scooby Shag. Franklin, what do you got? Where are they gonna find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Arctic Sloth. Also on Twitch under the same name. If you want to find me on PSN, you can find me at Frank the Prawn Star. Have fun. Suck my balls.
John, what about you?
I've updated my Twitter. I creating a whole brand thing here. So you can find me on Twitter at @theCellfox. Same thing. YouTube. I don't have a custom URL yet, but Twitter is where you find me. Cellfox, SELFOX.
Cool. Also, if you liked the awesome badass intro that we have, John did the music for that. So check him out. He's got some pretty cool music stuff. Why don't you let him know where they can check out some of your music?
Actually, the channel that this video is being hosted on, I will be uploading original music as a part of the grand content scheme. So stay tuned. If you want to
Mr. Entrepreneur.
If you want to check out my old band, you can go to dreamerswtf.bandcamp.com and you can just stream the stuff straight from there.
Some pretty cool shit on there. If you like some metal, especially some heavy European Swedish metal, some really good stuff. So Wayne, where can we find you? Not on Twitter because you're old.
Yes, not on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram, Wayne_McCarthy, or everything is all collected at EmeraldHighland.Productions.
Yeah, Wayne, in fact, actually did all the video stuff for our intro, so well done to you, sir. Thank you very much, both to John and Wayne. To John Wayne. I got a million of them. About 2 of them are actually funny. So.
That's enough.
Once again, we had a blast bringing this to you guys. It's been, really, really fun. It's been a dream, if you will. So thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys will come back and give us another shot. Promise to do better next time. Franklin, get your face off my ball. Get your face off my ball. Stop it.
Subscribe and tell your friends.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.
I love you.
Come back next time. Bye.